Hey everyone, and welcome to Post to Post. My name's Neil. Thanks for joining me today. I am very excited for this video because I'm going to release some information that I've been told by like 6 different sources. Like the same information from 6 different sources, technically 5. The 6th one, there was a bit of conflicting information, so 5 like concrete ones, but the 6 is questionable. But we'll say 6, okay? We'll say 6 to make ourselves feel better. So there's going to be 20 new jerseys at least released for this upcoming season. And I'm going to break it down by month. So what jerseys for what team is coming from what month. And I will say that, like, obviously there are some inside sources here. It's not Cool Hockey, by the way. So, like, you guys know I'm affiliated with Cool Hockey. They are not one of my sources. They don't tell me anything for as far as what's coming. But it's still technically rumors. So although I trust some of my sources, still technically rumors. So just keep all this with a grain of salt. But this is going to be a pretty extensive video. We're going to look at all of the everything that's coming, and then some concepts that I've picked out for predictions that I'm making of what the specific jersey is going to look at. So grab your snacks, grab your drinks. This is going to be a pretty in-depth video, and I appreciate you being here. So let's start off with the first month, which is going to be September. There's going to be 2 jerseys coming in September, and well, you already know about them. So technically, not all of the 20 are going to be completely brand new here, but the first 2 is Seattle. I mean, we know what's coming. They've already shown them. So home and away are going to be the first 2 of the 20. Both of those are coming in September. So that was an easy one. Good start. So November, there's actually going to be 3 new jerseys in November. And I have them up on the screen here. I'm going to bring them up. Or I'm going to bring up some concepts of what I think. So the first team is going to be the New Jersey Devils. Okay, the New Jersey Devils are getting an alternate. And I have a couple here for based on my predictions. And New Jersey is kind of a weird team to predict as far as what new jersey they're going to come out with, because they've already kind of done the retro history thing with the reverse retro, and then that alternate which has the green and the red in it. So I don't think they're going to go that route. I have a feeling they're going to kind of go like a completely almost two-tone route, kind of like Edmonton did with theirs. And who's the other team that did that too? Can't remember. But anyways, I got some concepts here. I'm going to put one up here. This one's by Gordon. I suspect that New Jersey is highly considering a completely, mostly black, that doesn't make sense, mostly black concept here, or a jersey, because the fans want it. It's massive in the jersey concept community. There's a ton out there of Devils jerseys just using primarily black, and the community wants it. I think that the Devils fans wants it as well. So I think this was a really good representation that Gordon did up here, and it has a little bit more modern striping, a little bit more shape to it. It's not so rigid and squared off like the current jerseys. So I'm thinking that maybe they're going to try and modernize this alternate a little bit. Now, the other one that I wanted to show you is one that is very similar to the retros, and I will say, I don't think they're going to go this route with the retro, but if they did, they might want to consider doing this one. This was by Shane, and he's kind of gone with, again, the black as the primary color, but kind of keeping the retro vibes, the green and the red, and this would technically match their current brand. So if they want to stick within their brand and not really branch out and do anything crazy, then they might kind of go this way, and I would be okay with it, actually. I think that looks pretty good. And then the third one I wanted to show you was kind of another variation of the two-tone one. This one's by Gabriel, and it's using red as the primary, but the shoulders are open, unlike they are on the home and the away, so that is definitely different for them, and it is a nice two-tone, so I think they might kind of, those are the 3 areas that I'm thinking that they might dabble in, but I suspect it's going to be the first one that I showed, which is the primarily black one. Okay, so the next team that's coming out with an alternate in November is the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Pittsburgh Penguins have so much history to pull from, right? I mean, they have an endless amount. They've got the Winter Classic, they've got the original jerseys, they've got the early 90s jerseys. Like, there's so many things that they could do. But when I think about alternates, I think about a jersey that's going to be with a team for a minimum of 2 years, and at the most 4 or 5. So this is a jersey that's really going to stick with the team. It's going to be used a lot, so it does have to match their brand in a way. It can't be something completely outlandish and special, because I'm going to get into some special jerseys later on in the video. It can't be a one and done. So it can't be a crazy jersey. It's got to be something that's not super offensive, or not super, it can't be in your face. So here's what I think they're going to do. I'm going to throw this one up on the screen here. I think that the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to consider an alternate that matches their home and their away, but introduce a new color into their current brand, which isn't technically new because it's kind of a shade that they've used in the past in their original days, actually. It's that blue shade. So kind of keeping the same jersey that they have, but instead of black as the primary color on the home, they're probably going to go with that shade of blue, that really deep shade of blue, and have that just have a dark alternate. And it's not crazy new. It's not going to excite like a lot of people, but I think it would be a very nice jersey. That concept looks amazing, and so I think they're going to be a little bit conservative, I guess, with their alternate, because they may make an appearance later on in the video, which I'm excited for. Okay, the other team that's coming out with an alternate in November is apparently Winnipeg. So Winnipeg's coming out with an alternate, which is kind of crazy because they've got the home, the away, the reverse retro, that Jets light blue one. They've got the Heritage White, the Heritage Dark, and I think that's it. They got 6 jerseys. That's a lot of jerseys compared to some of the teams in the NHL. So I'm really shocked that they're coming out with another alternate. It's going to be their 7th jersey. And I don't know what they could do. They can't really go the retro route. They could do like the kind of original Winnipeg Jets jersey in white, which would be awesome. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they may pay respect to the Atlanta Thrashers, because we've seen teams do that recently, like the Carolina Hurricanes. That was very popular for them. They did that with the Hartford Whalers jerseys. So I'm wondering if Winnipeg's kind of considering it. And it's been over 10 years, technically, I guess, since they've moved from Atlanta to Winnipeg. So I'm wondering if they're going to go with this concept here. It's based on the Atlanta Thrasher jersey, probably the most popular in their entire history when they were a team. And it looks pretty good, actually. I kind of like it. It doesn't necessarily match their I say it a lot, match their brand, but it's true, it doesn't. But you never know. Now, if they were going to go a different route, not totally original Winnipeg Jets jersey, but kind of keep the same heritage, but maybe alternate a little bit, I've got this one here, which I think is a really good kind of change. I'm not sure who designed it. I apologize. I don't have the name on this one. But I love the shoulder patches. Those are awesome. A nice little RAF shout-out. And, just a nice jersey. Okay, so let's move on to December. And in December, we're going to get 3 new jerseys. So there's going to be 2 Winter Classics and an LA alternate. So that's really exciting. The LA one is very interesting because we know how popular the reverse retro was. So I'm not exactly sure if they're going to go that route and kind of like keep it but change it, or come up with like a different one. So I've got some concepts up here. Now the first one that I'm going to show is made by STL Blue Central. Since they've done the dark reverse retro, maybe they'll consider doing a light version or a white version, but kind of tweak it a little bit. So I thought this was a good representation to kind of showcase that off. And I think it would be pretty popular with LA fans and within the jersey collecting community like myself as well. So I like this one. And then the next one I want to show is kind of a melding between the reverse retro and their current jerseys. So this is, they get the subtle touch in there of the yellow and the purple, but it's not completely foreign from their brand. So I think this one would work. And then the next one is a little more outlandish. It is keeping their current jerseys like they are, I guess, but removing the black as the primary color for the home and throwing that purple in there, not even bothering with the yellow and just going with the purple, which I guess is very similar to, no, it's not very similar, but I mean, they're not afraid of using purple in the mid 2000s, early 2000s. So I think this is maybe the most logical choice for them to go with, and I hope they do. I would love to have this jersey. It is very nice. Okay, so the Winter Classics. So I believe technically Minnesota is the home team, so they should have a dark jersey, and so the St. Louis Blues should have a white jersey. Now, that may flip-flop. I don't know if that's always the case, but hypothetically, I've chosen some concepts based on that. So the first one I'm actually going to show is probably going to be considered the away jersey because it's off-white and not white. But I wanted to show it anyway because I think it's a really good design, and this one's done by Matt, and it's very perfect for a Winter Classic jersey. It's using the off-white, which is considered kind of like a stained or like an old kind of color. So it's a Winter Classic. That makes sense. And then they've got the classic style logo on there, which they've used previously within their their time in the NHL, and just some simple striping. So this is a very good prediction as far as jersey, I think, but it depends if they're home or away, technically. Okay, the next one, assuming that they are home, this is kind of, it's kind of like the last one, but with a more modern take on it. It's got the current logo on the front, and it's using the off-white and the striping. So I don't think this is like the nicest concept or jersey that I've ever seen, but I think it's totally plausible for the Winter Classic. And then the next one I'm going to show is by STL Blue Central, and this is a really cool design because it doesn't although I like the off-white, it's kind of nice to see some modern Winter Classics at the same time. And I think this was a really good example, pulling that star icon or shape or whatever graphic from the logo and kind of putting it on the arms and making it bigger and going up the arms. That helps with the kind of linear direction of the arms in general and helps define the shape of the jersey a little bit. So I really like that. I like that there's a lot of yellow on here, and I like that the numbers are on the shoulders too. I think that is more of a stadium series thing, but I kind of like it on the Winter Classic. So moving on to St. Louis. So what's St. Louis going to do for the Winter Classic? This may be the most predictable out of any jersey coming in this next year. So the first one I'm going to show you isn't necessarily the one I'm predicting, but it's one that is very plausible. So this white one by Matt was it's kind of the inverse of the alternate that they had in Reebok 7-8 years ago or whatever it was. So this is a very nice jersey. It would be amazing in white. The jersey community would eat this up, and I think this is a really good decision. However, I'm going to go with this one, and this was done by Saturn Styles, and this is very close, or this is very similar to their original jerseys when they first came in the league. Obviously not identical, but very similar, and I think this is the direction they're going to go. And I think it's the right direction because this is a very clean jersey. It's very respectful, and it's just nice. It's just a nice jersey. However, sometimes matchups in these specialty games like the Stadium Series and the Winter Classic, sometimes the jerseys almost try and look alike. So I don't know what the relationship is between Minnesota and St. Louis, whether they're going to kind of come up with a brand within their brands to kind of, brand within the Winter Classic, or if they're just going to go separate and kind of do their own thing. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I think this is going to be the St. Louis Blues Winter Classic. Okay, so moving on from December gets us into January. This one's an easy one. It's already kind of public knowledge. It's the Arizona Coyotes Kachina jersey. So I guess there's going to be a away jersey, which is going to be the white one, which is great. And then there's going to be either the same one that's now, but with the new material, or it's going to be different a little bit. But there's still going to be the Kachina. So home and away Kachina. So I've got some concepts in here based on, it's hard to tell because they're saying that the new one's coming, but there's already one that exists, and it's very nice. People love it, so why would you change it? So anyways, I'm going to throw one up here on the screen. If they do change it, this is a subtle change. This one is done by Justin, and I like this one. Like, if it's going to change, it's got to be something at least the same, with the same likability, and I think this is close. So that was a good concept. And then this next one is, I don't know who it was by, so I don't have their name on here. But this one's okay. It's not my favorite, but it is a little bit more stylish, a little bit more in your face. And this next one, think about their reverse retro. This is kind of bridging the gap between their Kachina jersey and the reverse retro, melding it together. It would be lovely. I would really like this. It's not necessarily the direction I want them to go, but it's pretty nice. Now this next one that I'm going to show you is incredible. This is taken from their state flag, which you can see on the shoulder, recolorized to match it, keeping the Kachina in there. I don't think they're going to go this direction, but I would love them to. Like, this would be awesome to see if they did this, but I don't think the fans would like it. I don't think people want a white regular Kachina. They don't want a white version of this. And I think if they got the white version of this, they would be like, well, this isn't what we wanted. We were expecting the white regular Kachina. So I really don't think they're going to go this direction, but I would love it if they did, just selfishly. And then just to show the white one, this could be kind of a variation of it. It's going to look very similar to this probably, and there might be a little bit too much of that orangey, rustish color in this one specifically, but it's likely design-wise going to look pretty similar to this, and it's a nice jersey. Okay, and then I have another one, and this was done by Orion Taylor, lovely last name, and this was kind of a modern logo. It looks good. Like, it looks really good. I like the patterns. I like the shoulders. I like everything, but there's so much purple in the main logo, and there's no purple elsewhere in the jersey. I'm not sure if this is totally plausible, but it is kind of a neat look. Okay, so that wraps up January. Let's move into February, which is the Stadium Series game between Nashville and Tampa. Let's get into the first one, which is going to be Nashville, and this was done by Drew Martin. Look at the arms. That's some modern striping. The logo on the shoulder looks good. It's pretty clean elsewhere, so this was a decent attempt. Not my favorite. Now this next one is by, I'm not sure who this is by actually. The logo's down at the bottom. And this is a really cool design because it's kind of a little bit of their history. It's kind of a bit of a Winter Classic from before. It's kind of a bit of a reverse retro. It's got lots of blue in there. So I think this could probably be a possibility. I'm wondering if the numbers would look better on the shoulders here. And then the other one I wanted to show was this one was as an oversized series, or from an oversized series, which is coming on the channel here in a little bit. You're going to see all of the teams kind of have this same theme, but I just pulled this one from the future. So I wanted to show you. They could do something like this. I mean, Stadium Series is about kind of being bold. Numbers on the shoulders, that makes sense. A big giant logo on the side. I don't think a lot of people would like this, but I think it might be something that they would do, because that sounds like something that the NHL would do, is create a jersey that they think everyone wants and no one really does. So this isn't my favorite concept, but I think it's probably kind of likely actually that they do it. So it's a good prediction here by PGH Concepts. And then the next one is the one I want them to go with. This is getting rid of the yellow, getting rid of the gold. That's all throughout their current brand. Let's bring back a bit of their history, a bit more of that blue color and the silver, and kind of just go a little bit intense with it. Now, I also think this is going to happen, or I'm also hoping they're going to go this direction, because it kind of mirrors the Tampa Bay Lightning colors as well in a way. So if Tampa was wearing white or dark, it doesn't really matter. If there was a white version of this jersey, maybe the blues would really play off each other and kind of look nice on the ice, and not too conflicting. So there we go, and that wraps up Nashville. So Tampa Bay. Ooh, this one's tough, and I don't know who's going to be home or away, by the way. So there's a lot of dark jerseys in here, but this one was done from the oversized series as well. So if you kind of think about that last Nashville one that we saw that was huge, and then this one, I mean, they would look kind of good together on the ice. They'd be very outlandish and kind of offensive, almost like it's so oversized, but it's possible. Okay, so this next concept it is incredibly modern. Like, look at the collar, look at the striping. The striping is split by an actual bolt itself. So I think this is very plausible for a Stadium Series jersey. It's not my favorite, though. Next up, this is a nice one, kind of a mix between old and new a little bit. The bottom seems very old, top seems very new. I like the shoulder patches kind of being that yellow. You can almost barely kind of see them, just kind of highlighted. So that's nice. This next one was a nice one, so by Drew Martin. Just a simple kind of, some designs down from the neck all the way down to the bottom of the sleeve almost. So that was nice. And this next one is the one that I'm hoping that they kind of go with. This was done by Eric, and this is so nice. The gradient in the jersey is pulled from their current alternate. The rest of it is just, it's perfection. I mean, is it not? Like, I absolutely love this jersey. This is one of the best concepts I've ever seen. I hope they go with this one. Okay, so moving on to March. This is the big month, okay, guys? This is it. There are 6 jerseys coming in March, apparently, and it's from a new series that Adidas is doing called the Classic Series. There's going to be 6 jerseys to start, apparently, and these are the 6 that is rumored. The Penguins, the Seals, the Nordiques, the Sharks, the Kings, and the Lightning. So let's kind of go through history a little bit and do some predicting. So let's start off with Pittsburgh. And if you're familiar with their jersey history, you know that blue is a huge part of their history. They've used it in the Winter Classic that they used in the Reebok. I think were they in 2 Winter Classics, or was that a Winter Classic and then a Stadium Series? I can't remember. They have 2 alternate jerseys, or 2 specialty jerseys that are both blue. I think they're going back to blue for the specialty series. Now, I kind of talked a little bit about that earlier in the video when I was talking about their alternate, but I'm thinking they're going to go with a totally classic, hence the name from the series, design here. And I've got 2 concepts. The first one I want to show is from their original days. So this is very predictable. Great design here by Gabriel. And then the next one I want to show is kind of pulled from the early 90s with that logo that most people love, with the kind of original colors and kind of same jersey design from a couple of their other years. And this was done by White Blizzard Jerseys. And this is a phenomenal design. Like, I hope that they do this, because that would be incredible for us jersey collectors. Now, the Seals is an interesting one because the image I'm about to show you was leaked probably a year and a half ago. And everyone thought that the Sharks were going to get this alternate jersey that was based on the Seals jersey, and everyone was really excited. And it turned out to just kind of be like a fake. It turned out pretty quickly, actually. It wasn't really that hard to investigate and figure out that it was not going to happen. But still, it got people excited. And I think the NHL noticed that, and Adidas noticed that, and the Sharks noticed that, and it was time. It was time to kind of bring back some of these classic teams, and this could be kind of that. So this is what you're seeing now is what was leaked a year and a half ago, which was not real. But I think this might kind of actually come true. So let's go on to another concept here. And this was done by Eric as well, and this is perfect. I mean, this is incredible. I don't know what team would wear it, because if you've got the Sharks are already in this list as having their own classic jersey, so they're not going to get two. So that leaves LA and Anaheim. Well, LA is not going to wear a crazy yellow and blue and white jersey like this. That is so far from their classic history, the purple and stuff. So I think this has to be Anaheim. So I suspect that the Seals jersey will be Anaheim's classic, and the one I'm showing now is awesome. The next one I have here is some crazy designs actually by John Dalton. He came up with a bunch of different designs, and these would be great. I love all of these as well, so I'm excited for that one. Then the Nordiques, there's only one way to go. Either you go white or you go dark. We've already seen the white one from the reverse retro for the Colorado Avalanche, but not using their Nordic colors. So I think this time they're going to go with dark and use the Nordic colors. And this is the exact jersey that they've basically used in the past and which should come back. So this one is hopefully predictable. The San Jose Sharks, I suspect, are going to get the jersey that they wanted to get last year. We got the 30th anniversary jersey, which was just a rehash of the Reebok anniversary jersey. It was the same jersey, basically. So, yeah, it was great to have it in Adidas, but people wanted the white one. And so that's what this is. I really think that they're going to go with a white version of their anniversary jersey from last year because people really liked that. People wanted it. So, next is the Kings. So, the Kings have a lot of options, but I think they're going to go with one of their classic jerseys from the mid-2000s. And this is very popular for collectors who kind of go back and, if they go back in the 90s and the early 2000s or the 2000s in general, or maybe even 80s, and they're thinking, okay, well, what's a couple of jerseys that I can get? I'm not going to get them all, but if I could pick 1, 2, 3 to kind of find on eBay and buy, this is usually one of them. This is very popular, so I think the Kings would consider bringing this back as a classic jersey. And also to mention, sorry, I forgot, the Kings were already on this list. I forgot about that. So it would have to be Anaheim for the Seals. Lightning, as is the next one. This one's a little bit more difficult, but I think a lot of people want that crazy jersey from the 90s that had the bolts going down and then the things along the bottom, the waves. It's not the prettiest jersey. It's really not. But I think they might consider bringing it back. Now, the last two, which come for the All-Star game, who knows, right? I mean, these aren't really that exciting, even if they happen. But I suspect they're going to go one of two directions. The first one I'm going to show is a very generic, like early 90s or like maybe 80s kind of. I don't even know. It's like it's just so NHL branded that it's not even has nothing to do with any of the teams, has nothing to do with the divisions. It's just so simple. So they could go this direction, white and dark. So there's not going to be divisions for the All-Star game. There's going to be East and West. So we're only going to get two jerseys, thankfully. But I think Adidas and the NHL is smart enough to recognize the surge in jersey buying and jersey collecting. And I think they're also smart enough to recognize what people want. So what All-Star jersey do people want? Because the last couple were complete flops since Adidas took over, and even into the Reebok years, they're not that great. No one really cared too much about any of them. They didn't do well as far as sales and stuff. So I think they want to rectify that situation. And the best way they can do that is to go back with the All-Star game from 94 maybe? I can't remember the year. But this is the jersey. This is the Eastern version. This was so unbelievably popular. Like, this is one of the coolest damn jerseys. And then the Western version, which is incredible, is so nice. If they came back, like, seriously, guys, if they came back with these two jerseys for the All-Star game, 100% these would sell out so fast it's not even funny. Like, they wouldn't even have to try to sell these. They wouldn't even have to market them. They would just have to release them, and people would just eat them up. People would buy them. People would buy multiples. I would buy 2 jerseys of these just to have one for the future to sell way in the future. That's how popular these jerseys would be. So I really think the NHL is smart enough and Adidas is smart enough to recognize that. If they're not, then hey, I'm available. You can hire me. Because I tend to know what the people want for the most part. I interact with a lot of, obviously, jersey fanatics doing this channel, a lot of concept curators, a lot of just general hockey fans. I read a lot of comments, so I tend to know what people want. And I'm telling you, Adidas, NHL, if you're listening, people want this. Not just me, selfishly. A lot of people want this, so please make it happen. So there are my predictions. There are all the jerseys that are coming. Like I said at the beginning, complete rumors for the most part. A couple reliable sources, but still rumors for the most part. Can't really confirm any of these other than the, obviously, Seattle jerseys and the Kachina jersey. Obviously, we don't know the design, but that is definitely coming. So there you have it. There is some jersey news for you, and I hope to have more in the future. Who knows? We might come with a little nugget sometime. A team might come out and be like, hey, surprise. Who knows? But so for right now, those are the jerseys that are coming to my knowledge. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button for more jersey news, more jersey concept videos, more jersey talk, more jersey unboxings, all that good stuff. I love jerseys, and I love you guys for watching. So thanks. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Adios.